Greetings to everybody. I really hope you guys are doing great. My name is Safia and I'll be teaching you SST this year. So, the very first topic that we are going to discuss today is sources of past history. I know that sounds boring, and indeed, this was my first thought also, but it turned out to be actually interesting. So, let's get on with it. So, all of you must have been to or visited various historical buildings, monuments, and places. There are so many around us, like Red Fort, Qutub Minar, Humayun Tomb. These are located in Delhi. If we move a little further from Delhi, then there is Taj Mahal, the epitome of beauty, and the gateway of India, Hawa Mahal, and the Victoria Memorial. Victoria Memorial is located in Kolkata. If we talk about the world, there is Colosseum. This is Colosseum during the night. Colosseum is in Rome, Europe. This is the Great Wall of China. I am sure you all are aware about the wall. And then the Great Pyramid and the Easter Island. There are so many other places that have not been listed here, but they are of greater historical importance. You can explore them yourself. So, did you ever think as to who has made all these places, these buildings, and these objects? When did they came into existence, and how were they formed? Or if we talk about our freedom struggle from the Britishers, how did you know that it it was there in the past? Or that America was discovered by Christopher Columbus and India by Vasco da Gama? Or let's say, for example, early humans lived in caves. How do we know that early humans lived in caves and that they invented fire using stones, etc.? So, all of such questions and all of these questions that arise in our mind, they are answered by history. It helps us to understand everything that is present around us. It is the story of the people on our planet, the human story. How early humans used to live, what things did they use for their survival, and what more had happened with them. History answers all of these questions. It basically focuses on the following questions: what, where, when, how, and why. First is what. What is it that we want to know? What, the event or some person? Second, where did it occur? Third is when did it happen? And how did it happen? And why? What was the reason behind it? So, taking into consideration these things, it answers most of our questions. If we talk about the literal meaning of history, this word has been derived from a Greek word which is historia, which means studying about the events of the past and the reason as to why they occurred. Right, so we can conclude or we can say that history is basically a study of the past. History is a study of the past. Whatever is in the past, all that has been already done is a part of history. Anything that has occurred in the past, for example, your birthday, your first day of the school, the time when you first learn to ride a bike, whatever, it becomes a part of history. Now there are certain points as to why history is important for us. It allows us to understand our past. This is a basic point, that it allows us, it enables us to understand our past, which in turn allows us to understand our present. Understanding our past leads us to understand our present, the way things are today. For example, if we want to know why and how our world is the way it is today, we have to look to history for answers. One can understand why some rules exist in the modern world, such as everybody is equal before the law and has equal rights. How do we know about this? It is being written in our constitution, which was formed during independence. So that's how it works. Third, it acts as a window, which means it allows us to look or know about the lives of the people back then, the people of the past. How did they live? What materials and objects did they use? Their lifestyle, etc. So all of these statements justify that history is the study of the past, and how much is it important for us. Now there is a statement: history is who we are and why we are the way we are. History is not just the past, history is the present. So this quote justifies our first 2 points, that it allows us to understand our past, which in turn allows us to understand our present. I hope you got it. Now, the study of past may be divided into 2 branches or 2 parts. One is archaeology and another one is history. Archaeologists study about the old buildings, objects, and anything that has been made in the past. For example, if they want to study about a building, so they take a rock out of it and it tells them how old the building is. That's how it works. While history, it studies about the people and the events that have occurred in the past, the people that have someone who has done significant work in the past that changed the past, and events like the wars, epidemics, revolutions, and also independence days, etc. Well, this is not our concern right now. We will discuss this in detail in the next chapter. So this concludes the first part of this chapter. So we discussed about what history is, and it has been derived from a Greek word, historia, studying the events of the past and the reason of their occurrence, and the importance of studying history because it tells us about the places and objects around us, and it also allows us to look into the lives of people who have lived in the past, and also the divisions of the study of the past into 2 branches. One is archaeology and another one is history. Now your assignments, there are some blanks, you have to fill them up and write them in your previous SST notebooks if you don't have a new one. And there are 3 questions that you have to attempt. Why do you think history is important? You have to write it in your own words, that why do you think history is important for us. Second, who are archaeologists and historians? Easy. You have to write a paragraph consisting of only 4 to 5 lines, not more than that, on Vasco da Gama's discovery of the Indian subcontinent. How he reached the Indian subcontinent and what route did he use, etc. Okay, thank you.